All right. Ian, the Virtual Boy can now rent a car. 25 years old. I still don't know why. No one explained to me why you'd be 25 to rent a car in most states, I believe. But that's basically, or run for Congress.
I think it's just the artificial cutoff age for responsibility.
For being a man or a woman growing up. So it came out August 16th.
The only other thing
95.
you've got to look forward to, Virtual Boy, is your bid for presidency at 35.
Oh, Senate at 30. Senate's 30.
Oh, okay.
25, 30, 35. I remember my civics lessons. So it was August 16th, 95, Ian. The Virtual Boy was not arguably the biggest Nintendo failure of them all. At least in terms of prestige. Like the Wii U obviously was a failure, but it wasn't like a huge, black eye for Nintendo. This was a huge black eye for Nintendo.
Yes, this was definitely a big failure. And it's kind of a shame because the games that I've played on the Virtual Boy, a lot of them are actually fairly fun for what they are. It's just that the hardware was not something that should have ever gotten out of the, hey, we can do this phase. I don't know who thought that, trying to say this is a portable system, creating a system that you have to push your face into on a stand to look at, to play a game for any length of time is just, it's a failure. That's neck problems. That's eye strain problems. It looks like something that was still in the prototype stages when they finally released it. Like They were like, okay, we've wasted too much money on this and we have to release something. So this is what we're releasing.
Obviously, it was a brainchild of Gunpei Yokoi of Yokoi Kids fame.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it was like the last thing he kind of worked on, and it was a failure. And he said, according to Wikipedia, what did he say? He saw this as a unique technology that competitors would find difficult to emulate. Well, he's right there. Except for the the Zone, the Tiger LCD Zone.
Oh, yeah, that's totally different. That's just an LCD screen right in front of your eye.
Additionally, the resulting game console was intended to enhance Nintendo's reputation as an innovator and to encourage more creativity in games. Well, he was 15 years ahead of time, like 3DS for 3D, even though that didn't use 3D a huge amount. He was ahead of his time, at least. It was codenamed VR32.
Geniuses are not foolproof.
Oh no, you're most of the time you fail. You're like, oh, you're a lunatic.
Yeah,
you might be before your time, because obviously he has a track record with R&D of putting out great things. So, let's see. I didn't know this. There was a driving demo. There was a tank thing as well. That would be interesting. Yeah, why wasn't there like a driving game that was put out?
There's no racing game. That'd
be the perfect 3D sort of thing to do.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Well, we're not going to mitigate it. First time I played a Virtual Boy, I'll never forget this. I probably said this maybe did we do a 20th anniversary in 2015?
We might have.
My cousin got a console by accident. My cousin, the three boys, were spoiled. They got every single video game thing they wanted, every console that came out. I mean, like every console in the 90s they had. And they got a Virtual Boy, Ian, because I believe they had ordered, what N64 game did they order that they got instead? They ordered, I believe they either ordered a controller in game or something, and then for some reason they ordered probably online, or not online, over the phone, and they sent them a Virtual Boy instead. And they kept it. They kept the Virtual Boy because it was worth more than what they... Sure. It was like $200 when it came out, whatever it was. So they kept it, and we played it for like 20 minutes, and it's like, yeah, I got to stop playing. My head hurts now. Like, that's what happened. We try to play, try to play tennis, and yeah, it's cute to play, but it collects dust after that.
Yeah, it's a novelty, and I honestly, I'm sort of in the minority here, or at least it's modern day virtual reality is less of a novelty. There are people who can spend tons of time in there. They play lots of games in virtual reality. Virtual reality is finally at that point where it's becoming a consumer tech that people are comfortable with. But even for me, virtual reality is still kind of a novelty, and this is 100%. It was just novel to do so, but no one is going to want to dedicate so much time to playing a game with this unit. First time I ever played Virtual Boy, I think, was Red Alarm. I remember they had a demo unit at Sears, and I played it, and I thought it was pretty cool. And I had played the tennis demo at one other point, too. And like I said, I've played some of the games through emulators and whatnot. The Virtual Boy library is incredibly tiny as it is. The games aren't bad. They were put on a system that, like I said, never really should have come out. 21 games came out in all territories. We did not get that, Virtual Tetris we did not get.
We did not get, what's the other one we probably should have gotten? The Space Invaders one probably would have been fun.
Yeah.
Even it's red, at least it's like kind of 3D-ish background, I guess.
Sure.
I've never seen it. So we got 14 here. We got bowling. We got Mario Clash. We got, people think, I guess, is there a crown jewel to this? Would it be Wario Land? People think Wario Land is...
Mario Land's pretty decent. Mario Clash is fun.
So there's a fishing game. You ever play virtual fishing?
No, that would be fun.
From Pac-In Video in Japan?
There's a Water World.
Yes, that came out here. Not in Japan, thankfully. And that was just, you're on your little wave runner. So all you need to know about this, how this only lasted, 10 months before they canceled it?
Yeah, it didn't even last a full year.
And it went from like 200 to like, let's see, it was 180.
I almost bought one when it was $39.99 at KB Toys.
You should have, because now for collectors it's gone up. So let's see, by 96 it was 180, but Blockbuster was selling Blockbuster was selling them for $50 a year in. So
yeah.
A year they crashed. I remember hearing stories about KB, how they were like 20 or $30.
Yeah, they were like $40 at KB, and the games were like $10 a piece, and they still weren't moving. I remember and I kind of wish I had gotten it then, although I probably would have sold it off. I remember going back a couple weeks in a row, and they still had those. Like, they just could not move them.
So at that point, obviously the store's losing money. They just want to recoup some loss there. This was so bad, Ian. I mean, we're talking less than a year. There was more games that were in development that didn't come out than games that were released.
Yeah.
When you look at the list of unreleased games, there's like 40 of them. There's the New Japan Pro Wrestling game that I was trying to get a hold of. At least screenshots exist, so they made the game or something in a prototype. But there's a lot of stuff that they were working on.
Street Fighter.
There was a Worms one. It says no active development started due to the commercial and critical failure, but they were thinking about it. Virtual Boy Mario Kart, they were thinking of. Mario Land, Star Fox.
All of those would have been a lot better to have ready at launch.
GoldenEye, a single screenshot exists, no prototype of surface. So they were at least thinking about some of this stuff. Donkey Kong Country 2 on there. So, like, they were planning on this to be a thing.
Yeah.
Potentially. But it's tough. I mean, it's tough when, especially, like, you can't do multiplayer unless you have 2 units. So that's almost gone right there. Did you know anyone that did multiplayer?
No, I don't.
They didn't come out with the cable here, didn't they? No, it's just in Japan, the cable for the multiplayer. So just a bad idea all around when it comes to the Virtual Boy. It's kitschy. Up until I want to say about 5-6 years ago, you can get one for under $100 easily. Even with the box, it wasn't that much money, but I think they've gone up a lot.
They have.
The past few years. $340 for one solder fixed, refurbished. Wow, you used to be able to get one loose for under $100. Not so much anymore. In the box, they're going for several hundred. What? Here's one with the rental case like I have. It's $350 with 5 days left, with a lot of extra goodies. I think a lot of it maybe is, I hear there's like solder jobs you can send them in order to fix the ribbon that goes on it, and that's part of it because obviously they go over time. I had mine I think was okay when whenever I last played it, but who knows? Oh, people are selling heavy duty replacement Virtual Boy stands. So I guess a little cottage industry has popped up I was not aware of.
Yeah, it has its fan base.
Is that because it's just so kitschy and weird, I guess, versus the actual games?
It's neat. It's unique. It's just, it was never going to succeed on the consumer market.
Virtual Boy replacement stand medallions? Wow, okay. I guess 3D printed, you get a red or black one. Interesting. Okay, yeah, here's a Virtual Boy lot. 7 bids, 3 days left, Ian. It's the rental case, which is how I got it. Rental case, and then you get a Nintendo Power magazine that features on the cover. That was a mistake. And you get how many games with it? You get like 10 games in the box. That's like $610. Oh, is that because the Jack Brothers is included? I think Jack Brothers is included, and that's the hardest to find game. So that's going to go well over $1,000, that lot. Maybe $1,500, who knows, for that. I've played the Virtual Boy once I got it, Ian. I found it the first time I visited San Diego. I told you I found it at the swap meet. I turned it on maybe 5-6 times my entire life to test games out and to play it. I'm not that into it.
Yeah.
You looking up something?
Jack Brothers.
Jack Brothers. Do you ever get units into the store and sell them, or not really?
Yeah, we just sold one recently.
What'd it go for?
I don't know. I honestly don't remember. I think $250.
It sold pretty quickly though.
Yeah, it did.
So it's a collector's piece. It's like the Vectrex. How the Vectrex used to be cheap and it went up in value a ton. as a standalone unit, but how many people are actually sitting down and playing it that much?
Right.
The Vectrex used to be so cheap, like under $100 for a working unit.
Yeah,
plus
Vectrex
shipping.
used to be very cheap too.
And now it's probably hundreds and hundreds. So, all right. So, happy birthday, Virtual Boy. Sorry, Gunpei Yokoi. I'm sorry it didn't do as well as we hoped, but it is what it is.